YouTubers, I am happy to show you the much asked for etching on jewelry blanks. These are 2-inch stainless steel blanks that I got off Amazon. These guys I spray painted and then etched. It's actually really easy to do and a bit fun. You can make lots of different looks based on the settings that you choose, and it's pretty quick, amazingly. So I am going to show you the supplies that you are going to need and how to set it up. Alright, so these are the supplies you're going to need. These are the blanks that I bought. They're 2-inch round stainless steel. You get 50 of them, which is really nice because it's enough to play with and mess up with. Which you probably will do, or etch something and go, I don't like that. So the 50 is really nice. It's about 20 bucks when I ordered mine. They come with a protecting coating on the front, so all you have to do is peel it off. So those are the blanks that I got. If you want to, these guys, I spray painted. So this is just a spray paint I had at home. You don't need high performance enamel. I'm sure 99-cent Walmart spray paint will be great. And then I've been sealing them with this matte finish. It's just the one I seem to like. You can use matte. There's also a satin if you like it, or I'm sure you could high gloss them too. So that's what I did over here with these two, and I just took them outside and spray painted them. Nothing too exciting. Now, you can use either tool. This is Silhouette's etching tool, and it is substantially cheaper than this guy. This is the Chronos etching tool that I used for the acrylic video. The difference is, I mean, they both essentially look the same when you're looking at them. The difference is this is much rougher to the touch and this is much smoother to the touch. But honestly, looking at them, besides the feel, you can't tell the difference. So if you don't want to fork out the money for this guy will totally work too. Also, I use the Silhouette brand chipboard for my template. This is my Silhouette base. It is so dirty from all my messing. This is my Silhouette little base, and this is the Embossing Mat. This is the chipboard, and I have used it for a template. So this is kind of serving double duty. These can work for the acrylics, the big 3-inch acrylics, and 2-inch, and the 2-inch blanks can go in here too. So this is the chipboard that I've used. I thought it was going to be something different, but it's totally kind of like cardstock. So you can put cardstock on here and cut it out too if you want to. You don't have to buy the chipboard from Silhouette. So we are going to make a template first, or we're going to cut some more circles over here to use as our template, and then I'm going to show you how to set this up in Silhouette, and then we'll etch one. Alright, so this is the template I made in the acrylic video. So if you want more details, you can go over and watch that one. I'm going to get through this one a little quicker to save some time. But basically, you need a template to hold these guys in place. You might get away with putting it on there once or twice, but any more than that, the movement of the machine is going to make these guys come loose. So what I did is, this is the chipboard, and all I did was stick it to the mat. So when you get your curio, you get 2 mats. This is the embossing mat, which has got the raised white, and then your standard cutting mat. So this is the embossing mat, and I just stuck it on there and cut around it, and then I put some painter's tape on it too, so it'll help hold the template into place. And then this is our little base. There's 2 bases with the curio. This is the little one. It's like 8.5 by 6, I think. And then the way the curio works is you have these platforms. So if you look on them, I don't know if you can see that. That says 2, and then there's another one around here that says 1. The curio wants to cut things that are 5 millimeters tall. And so when you're cutting and moving things, that's what you need to remember. So it wants to cut things that are 5 millimeters tall. So the combination of what you're etching or what you're cutting or etching needs to be 5 millimeters tall between your platforms and your tool. Also, something else, when you deal with the paint, the spray paint, it makes a mess. So I'm going to put, the chipboard wants to be cut with all with a 5mm platform in there. So each one of your mats is 1mm, and then I did the 2 and 2. So 2, 2, and then this mat is one of the cutting mats. So altogether that's now 5mm. I'm gonna go set it up on the Curio and show you how to cut them out. We're just gonna cut them out with a standard blade. All right, so this is my, this is Silhouette Studio. I have business edition, so that's why I've got several machines over here. But my Curio is my default cutter. It's gonna need to be in order to get it to work. It's my default cutter partly because it's the only one on. But you can also right click and say set as default cutter. Mine is currently syncing. Please don't panic when you see that. It's syncing because the bases have not been put in it today. If it puts the bases in, you run it and then take the bases out, it'll say load media then. My base is already here. If yours is not, you can go to, what is it, design page settings, and that's where my page setting is 8.5 by 6, and my cutting mat is the Curio. So this is actually the same template that I made in for the acrylic video. See, it says Curio, and I've just saved it into my library. So basically, anytime I want to come and etch something, so this is what we're going to etch today, I just can come and put them in, and it'll all line up. So what you want to do is make it and then save it so that you can reuse it. Because this circle is probably done from all my etching for the little jewelry blanks, but this one I can totally use to etch more acrylics. So I can come in here and put whatever design I want to in here and continue to etch acrylics. So I clicked my circle and I'm going to draw 2. All right. So now click on the arrow, click on your circle, and this box says open the scale window. So we've locked aspect ratio. Actually, unlock it. You're going to want a 2" by 2" circle. And we're going to apply. Actually, let me put him down here. And then this one, we're going to make him 3" by 3". And hopefully, here we go. And then that way, you're getting multiple templates out of your one. Woohoo! All right, I just copied and pasted him with shortcuts from the clipboard, or from the keyboard. And so what I did is I copied this guy and pasted him up here. So then that way, you can use more than once. So big 3" circle, little circle, little circle. So why don't we? So we're gonna click this one, click that one, and click that one. Let's go up here to line color and make them green. Because what we're going to do now is go over here to cut settings. And now this way I can only, I'm in the advanced mode. See, advanced mode is clicked. Now this way it's only going to cut these green circles. So the machine's not going to turn around and try to cut my red circles that are already cut again. So cardstock. And let's go down here to Silhouette Defaults for Chipboard. And basically, and see, this is where it tells me the platform. So 2, 2, 1, and 1 for my platforms. And then my blade will be set at 5. And then double cut all of this. I don't change any of this. I just go with the defaults. So I'm going to go show you how to load this in. Okay, so I misspoke over there. You should have a 2 and a 2 and a 1 and a 1 for your chipboard to make it 5. Sorry about that. So 2, 2, 1, and then the 1 from your mat. So that's how many you should have. A couple quick things with the Curio. It's a little bit quirky. So it's blinking at me right now because I don't have any bases put in there. This button is to load bases, and then this is my pause button. So what you're going to do is you're going to put your bases all the way in. And then you're going to hit the double, this button, the double triangle or double arrow button. It loads them and puts them in the exact same place each time, which is kind of nice. I've already got my blade set, so I'm going to hit send a silhouette, and there it goes. All right, it is done, and you just pop them out, and keep these. They'll act as your mat cover until you've used them too much. So, all right, we're going to show you how to set up the etching in the machine and the software. We are back in the software. See, it says ready because my bases are in there. I hit my double arrow button. Now it says load media. So, and my power light's back to blinking. So, don't panic. All right. So what I'm going to do is what I have done is I've gone, let's go over here. There's this little swirly button. It's called Emboss and Deboss. We are technically debossing because if you emboss, it'll flip it. So we'll go here to emboss. This is the little design we're doing. It is, let's go move over a little bit. This is the Mermaid monogram font, or Mermaid monogram frame. And this is our fancy font. I've just done file and merged and put them in here. And so what I'm going to do is highlight all of them, click and drag, and then shrink them, and then we're going to put them in this little one right here. Now you have to take into account there's a hole in the top of the blank. There's a hole, so I'm going to click this one, hold shift and click the M and the mermaid to get them all back together. Now, you have to account for there's a circle up here, a hole for the top of your jewelry blank, so don't put it where it's going to etch that. And obviously, don't get it too close to any of the edges because you don't want to run the risk of the tool coming off the machine. And basically at this point you're fidgeting with it until you think it's right. Alright, so basically I just fidgeted with it until I got it like I wanted it to. And so now you can click each individual one and come over here and put their own individual fill in. So, let's pick her. Let's actually do, so the concentric circles, or they make circle after circle after circle. And it goes down to 0.004. So that's her. And see, each one of these little lines in here is going to be an etched line. It's going to etch. You can also put in the spirals, the parallel lines, or the crosshatch. Let's keep her actually concentric circles. And we can make her go. Now, when you click this guy, remember there's a lag, so don't just hold it. And then if you try to click it past 0.04, the software on occasion has been known to panic a little bit and freeze up on you. So that's the crosshatch. It's been put in at the same 0.04. So see, there are all the little things. And then why don't we make him parallel lines? Okay, so see what it did to me? That's a polite way of saying I can't do that. So what I either need to do is pick another fill, or I need to increase my spacing. It's basically what the software is saying right there to me is I can't do that. So that's what we're going to go with. My M. All right. So my M is touching here and I don't want that. So what I'm going to do, instead of trying to mess with this with all my fill lines in here, I'm going to click off and then make it smaller. The problem with trying to move stuff once the etch lines have been put in there, which one did I have in there? And the crosshatch, is that it bogs down the machine because it's all these cut lines. It's all these cut lines and basically the software freaks out trying to move that much stuff. Now she is blue and we want to keep her blue. So we can go cut by color again. but if yours wasn't, you could click all of these individual pieces. So click them, hold the shift button on your keyboard, click all of these, go to the multicolored lines here, and then pick another color. You can see the software is kind of running a little slow from all of this. Because once we're going to go over to cut again, or to the etching settings, we're going to cut by color. So we'll go to our cut settings. And now see, it's only one to cut my green chipboard. So we're going to unclick that. And then we're going to click this cardstock and see how it all lights up. Now I just keep it at cardstock. It didn't ever really matter to me. So the big thing is to, instead of ratchet blades, you want to come down here to Etching tool. When you leave it for the blade, it makes less crisp lines, I found. So the Etching tool seems to make crisper lines. For this one, we're going to go with a platform of 4 because to account for our charm and then our base, and then the machine wanting to cut at 5 millimeters tall. And then I have set the speed at 3. So I came down 1 on the speed. Now this is important for the Silhouette tool. I found the thickness of 12 works really well because it will etch a little bit deeper. But I'm going to use the Chronos tool. The Chronos tool does better at 14. It doesn't etch as deep to begin with. So 12 for the Silhouette Stippling tool, 14 for the Chronos tool. We're not double cutting. We're not doing any of that. So let me go put the blank in the, set up the bases and put the blank in, and then we'll go etch. All right, so our blank is counting as 1 millimeter tall. And then this is 1, 1, and 2. So 5 total. So you're going to line up your bases and put them in. Pop this guy off. And you're going to try your very, very best to line it up vertically. So what I do is normally rest my bottom of my charm on the bottom of the circle and do your best to line it up. There you go. So what I wanted to show you, I don't know how well y'all can see. This is when you're just doing with the regular, this is with the regular blade, or the regular blade as your cut option. And this is when you change it to the Silhouette Etching tool. So see what a crisper line it gives you than that one does. That's why it's really important to change that setting. So I'm going to take my Chronos tool and we're going to go back to the machine. All right, so we're back over at the machine. Push your bases all the way in and hit the double arrow button over there. Put your Chronos tool in and lock it into place. And then go hit send to machine on the software. Alright, so I hit the double arrow buttons and pulled out my platform. She's still attached. One thing, and there it is. Took about 6 minutes to do, which is pretty quick considering this is the most detail we can put. Obviously, if you put more design on this, it's going to take longer. Less will take less time. Now, if you wanted to have a deeper etch, what you could do is take the thickness, which is how hard the machine pushes, and take it from 14 up to, I would increase it one at a time, so 15, and put it through again, and it'll etch right over the same design. I did that with this one. I don't know if you can really tell, but you can very much feel that this is a lot deeper. And you can put it through as many times as you want to get the desired look that you wanted. Basically, a lot of this is kind of what look do you want and just playing with the machine. So this is the the swirls, and the outside is the hatch fill. And then you know which ones we did here. And just basically playing with them. These are the concentric circles. So basically just playing with them and seeing the fill you want and what and how close together you want, how far apart you want, and basically just playing with the machine some. Now for the spray paint ones, what you're gonna do is put this through and it's gonna make a mess. I'm not kidding. You can still see leftover black paint from probably this guy. So what's gonna happen is you're gonna put it through. It's gonna make a mess. Take the base out of the machine, brush all of this off, send it through again, and then brush it off again. And then make sure you seal them. If you don't, it will peel right off. And it's gonna be a little bit uneven down here. This one made a mess too. So, and I did this one on the back, so that's why it's extra rough. So, and a lot of this is just playing with different effects that the machine can do. But that's the basic enough to get you started. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any suggestions or any questions, please let me know. I try to answer them all. We will see you next time.